Hello, BBN? Travis Perry spoke about his decision to transfer from Kentucky, and it's going to be weird to see this guy in an Ole Miss jersey. Let's get to the news. Before that, subscribe to the channel to receive more news from the Cats. Travis Perry's decision to leave Kentucky and transfer to Ole Miss marks an unusual chapter in the recent history of the Wildcats basketball program. The move, which took many by surprise, was confirmed at the last minute of the transfer window, making it clear that the dynamics of college sports continue to be shaped by individual choices that, although difficult, reflect the complexities of short and highly competitive careers. As Mark Pope organizes his roster for the 2025-26 season, Perry's absence will be felt. But what can you do? Perry, a name that has already begun to gain prominence among Kentucky fans, leaves a legacy that goes beyond statistics or minutes on the court. His talent was evident from the start, and his dedication to the game made him a reliable asset in Pope's system. However, like any player at his position, he faced the constant challenge of balancing his individual ambitions with the collective needs of the team. During a recent press conference, Perry explained that the decision was not one he made lightly. He highlighted the pressure that comes with every choice in college basketball, where time is short and opportunities need to be maximized. His statement that you only have a limited amount of time to play basketball resonates as a powerful reminder that even at a program as iconic as Kentucky, players are constantly evaluating their next steps in search of growth and visibility. Coach Mark Pope, known for his candid and empathetic approach, made no secret of his frustration with Perry's departure. For Pope, who is building a team that blends promising youth with established experience, losing a player like Perry represents not only a tactical gap, but an emotional one. The coach has repeatedly emphasized the importance of creating an environment where athletes feel valued and supported, and Perry's departure certainly left its mark. However, Pope also expressed understanding, acknowledging that the decision was driven by factors beyond the program itself. This stance reflects the character of a leader who prioritizes the personal development of his players above all else. For Kentucky fans, seeing Travis Perry in an Ole Miss jersey will undoubtedly be a strange and nostalgic moment. College basketball. Rivalries are intense, and the idea of a former Wildcats player facing his old team at Rupp Arena brings with it mixed emotions. However, it is impossible not to wish Perry well in his new journey. He will always be remembered for the love and passion he demonstrated during his time in Lexington, qualities that have earned him a special place in the hearts of fans. Looking ahead, Perry's arrival at Ole Miss could be seen as a turning point for the Rebels program. He arrives with the experience and winning mentality he forged at Kentucky, traits that could take him to new heights. However, while he looks to thrive in Oxford, the Wildcats are sticking to their strategic plan. Pope's roster for next season features an intriguing mix of high-profile recruits and proven veterans. While Perry is an important piece who is now missing, Kentucky basketball has never been about isolated individuals, but rather about the collective that forms an unstoppable machine. It's a sport that demands sacrifice, tough decisions, and a constant ability to adapt. As Perry moves on to write a new chapter in his career, Kentucky fans can look back with pride, knowing that he represented the program with dignity and talent. And who knows, maybe one day he'll return to Lexington. It's hard to say. The NBPA Top 100 camp, held at the Rock Hill Sports and Events Center, has become one of the most anticipated events on the college recruiting calendar, and Mark Pope's Kentucky basketball is making a clear statement by sending its entire coaching staff to scout the emerging talent. Pope's presence alongside his assistants, Alvin Brooks III, Cody Fugger, and Jason Hart, conveys not only the program's commitment to remaining competitive, but also the seriousness with which it takes building a roster capable of continuing the Wildcats' winning tradition. The move to Rock Hill is emblematic of the proactive approach Mark Pope has taken since taking over at Kentucky. While other programs may send only assistant coaches or specific representatives, the fact that Pope was there in person accompanied by his entire staff, demonstrates how crucial it is for Kentucky to identify and attract the best players available. This camp, in particular, brings together some of the biggest names in high school basketball, offering college coaches a unique opportunity to evaluate talent that will shape the future of the sport for years to come. Among the standouts the Kentucky coach has been watching is Anthony Thompson, a five-star forward who is ranked as the fifth best player in the 2026 class by On3. With an impressive combination of athletic ability and offensive versatility, Thompson has quickly become one of the top recruiting targets in the country. Pope, along with other renowned coaches such as Dusty May, Michigan, Wes Miller, Cincinnati, and Pat Kelsey, Louisville, has closely followed Thompson's performances, recognizing the transformative potential he could have for any program that manages to secure his signature. In addition to Thompson, Pope has also focused on other elite prospects, such as Taj Ariza, another five-star forward who is ranked 8th overall in the 2026 class. Ariza has caught the eye with his ability to create plays for himself and his teammates, as well as his tenacious defense, traits that fit perfectly with the style of play Pope is looking to implement at Kentucky. Another name that has earned attention is Tay Kinney, a four-star guard who is ranked 23rd in his class. With excellent ball handling and vision, Kinney presents himself as the type of offensive leader who can lead the Wildcats' offense in the future. But Kentucky's interest isn't limited to its existing stars. The list of players being monitored by the program includes a number of promising names from the 2026 and 2027 classes, such as Ikenna Alozie, Trey Thompson, Kevin Thomas, and Lance Dakari, among others. This broad approach reflects Pope's philosophy of building depth and ensuring the program has key players to handle the demands of a competitive season. Additionally, the presence of 2027 prospects such as Bruce Branch III, Ryan Hampton, and King Gibson demonstrates that Kentucky is thinking long-term, ensuring that the talent pipeline remains robust even after players leave for the professional game. The event also serves as a platform for building relationships. Kentucky coaches have taken the opportunity to interact with players, families, and representatives, reinforcing the program's reputation as a desirable destination for young athletes who dream of competing at the highest level. The culture of excellence that permeates Kentucky basketball, combined with its state-of-the-art facilities and history of developing players for the NBA, continues to be a significant differentiator in the race for elite recruits. While it's still too early to predict which of these players will end up donning Kentucky's blue and white, the massive presence of the coaching staff at the NBPA Top 100 camp is a clear sign that the program is working hard to secure a bright future. For Mark Pope, this is just another step in his mission to restore the Wildcats' dominance in college basketball. While official games are still a long way off and fans eagerly await the 2025-26 season, initiatives like these reinforce confidence that Kentucky is ready to enter the competition strong. Marrow's decision to leave Lexington for Louisville is emblematic of how the world of college sports is constantly changing, where loyalties are reconsidered and professional opportunities can alter the course of established careers. However, his statements, as well as Mark Stoops' thoughtful response, reveal an emotional complexity that goes beyond the dividing lines of a historic rivalry. Marrow left no room for doubt about the mutual respect he and Jeff Brom share. Their connection goes back more than 2 decades, a relationship built on mutual admiration and shared experiences on and off the field. By declaring his excitement to work with Brom again, Marrow demonstrates that this decision was driven by both professional and personal reasons. The Louisville coach, known for his offensive creativity and skill in developing players, appears to be the ideal partner for Marrow in his new phase. Their combined talents could be just what the Cardinals program needs to rebuild and compete in an increasingly challenging state and national arena. However, the tone of Marrow's words when addressing his time at Kentucky deserves special attention. He not only expresses gratitude, but also acknowledges the lasting impact his time with the Wildcats has had on his life. "My hope is that I have left the Kentucky football program in a better position than when we started," he said. That phrase encapsulates the essence of his contribution: a legacy of building. During his 12 years in Lexington, Marrow was a key player in transforming Kentucky from a team traditionally relegated to the bottom of the SEC to a competitive program capable of attracting top talent and achieving significant victories. His work in recruiting helped pave the way for the Wildcats' recent success, and his departure certainly leaves a void that will be hard to fill. On the other hand, Mark Stoops' response to Marrow's departure is noteworthy. Without dramatizing or getting into controversy, Stoops chose a mature and forward-thinking tone. His statement reflects the mindset of a coach who understands the inevitable changes in the sport and is committed to moving forward. "We will continue to build a roster and team that balances talent, experience, maturity, physicality, and the attitude needed to win in the most competitive conference in the country," he said. Those words indicate that Stoops not only accepts Marrow's departure as part of the natural cycle of the sport, but is also determined to ensure that Kentucky continues to evolve, even in the face of significant challenges. The context of this change becomes even more relevant when considering the Kentucky-Louisville rivalry. Traditionally known as the Governor's Cup, this race is one of the most intense in college sports in the United States. Now, with Marrow assuming a prominent role in the Cardinals program, the intensity of this rivalry is likely to reach new heights. His recruiting expertise and influence in the state of Kentucky could give the Cardinals a strategic advantage, especially in the battle for homegrown talent. For Stoops and Kentucky, this presents an additional obstacle in their quest to remain competitive within the SEC. At the same time, there is something deeply human in the statements from both sides. Marrow stressed that his decision to remain in Kentucky was motivated by the love he developed for the place he called home for more than a decade. Stoops, in wishing his now former teammate all the best, demonstrated maturity and respect, recognizing the positive impact Marrow had on the Wildcats program. These gestures show that behind rivalries and strategic decisions, there are personal relationships and bonds that transcend sports. Looking ahead, the big question is how this change will affect both programs in the short and long term. The loss of Marrow is undoubtedly a tough blow, but it is also an opportunity for Stoops to redefine the program's identity and explore new recruiting and management approaches. What do you think of this departure? Let us know in the comments.